Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. For this episode, we are reviewing Fubar, starring the Governor himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, now out on Netflix. Akram, why don't we start with your thoughts?
He's back! He's back! Yeah, it was a fun show. I think when you finish a show, you're going to be like, that was alright. It wasn't bad. I think it's basically for all audiences. It kind of feels like family friendly at times, but still has that mature tone that you expect for something like this. There's plenty of references in this. They're very self-aware too of Arnold Schwarzenegger's legacy and spy films in general, but it doesn't take itself very serious, but at times it leads to, I think, darker moments that you could kind of just stay with, and I do appreciate that. I think it was too time jumpy too, and I think that might have been a detriment, but let's get your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think it has all the tropes you'd expect from something of an Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of movie. You know, it's got a lot of great action. It has like a lot of cameo moments. I think, you know, he still kind of shines in that aspect. We also have an interesting cast. We have Monica Barbaro that kind of plays his daughter. We have Gabriel Luna, who plays the villain. Yeah. I thought he was great in this series. It really like shined. I liked him more as a villain here than I liked the Jason Momoa in Fast X, to be honest. I wish they swapped. We also have Milan Carter, Devon Bostick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm so glad to see him back. Were there any actors that kind of like stood out to you in this series?
Not really, to be honest. Again, it was something where it felt like you know what it reminded me of? Kind of like Ghosted. I don't know. It's like this weird feeling you get where it's like these people don't feel depressed for some reason. They don't feel like really real. It's like you have these names that anyway, I mean, kudos to them, but still it's not really like huge names that you would recognize instantly. And they don't feel very authentic. So, but that goes with the tone. So the tone and then just the way how the characters are played go hand in hand. Again, and there are some moments, but I think for sure the spotlight characters, of course, is Luke and Emma. But I mean, again, that's what you expect from this. I mean, I also want to point out that I think there will be a season 2. It does end on sort of a cliffhanger. It's kind of reminiscent to Citadel's plot in a way, kind of. But yeah, I don't know. There was some red pill here too, like with Carter and Emma.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Yeah. No, but you know, for the most part, does it warrant a season 2? I think it only warrants it just for Arnold Schwarzenegger. But if Arnold wasn't involved, this will probably be something that would have been canceled right away. It might still be canceled. I don't know how many people will actually watch it. Because it's not really worth I'd say for me at least, not really worth the investment of having it inside of your head after seeing it. It's like, oh yeah, I connected the dots. There were some like characters that were alluded to work for a different organization, which was a big shock to me. But it's not something where like I'm gonna lose sleep over it, you know? So again, it doesn't leave something with you. And I always feel, if you guys don't notice by now, I feel like everything you watch, it costs so much money to make that I feel like it has to leave something with you, and it has to not always tell a tale or like a story that means something, but for sure it has to have a shred of authenticity at least. Because what are we just gonna watch this mindlessly and have fun? I mean, I get the 80s was like that with some action movies, but in the grand scheme of things, it did add to a culture of, let's say, masculinity too. It did add to that type of culture, and people remember that just for that. And they take like, which is kind of cringe too, but they take like a lot of philosophical things from those types of movies too. But at least what I'm saying is, even if they twisted it, it meant something to those people to twist it. This was just like an average whatever, you know. I could just walk by it, but it was still, again, it's enjoyable if you just want to see Arnold. If you're a fan of Arnold like I am, just watch this. You'll enjoy it. But then remember, it's kind of campy and it's, you know, whatever, cliche.
Yeah, the thing I really don't like about these kind of spy trend movies and series, they're only dependent on the lead actor.
Yeah.
Think about it, like Citadel, Richard Madden. Then you have we just did Ghosted with Chris Evans and Ana de Armas, right? So it's like you're only watching it really for Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? So it's like if you took him out of this, did it really add or subtract anything from the show? No, not really, right? I mean, he was great. I thought he was, you know, he's a little bit older now, you can definitely see that. He's definitely not. He's not like wine. He didn't really age that well, but I mean, you can still kind of see like it's different. Like when you watch him from like Terminator, and then you watch him now. I feel like his prowess as an actor. Maybe it's because like certain directors that he's worked with in the past kind of like pushed him a little bit, like James Cameron. Here it's kind of just like, okay, like I get he's like a dad, but I don't get he's a spy almost.
Right. Well, I think that's a fall for the tone. 'Cause I did see him do like serious roles in his older age. And first of all, he aged like fine wine. Okay, don't go at Arnold Schwarzenegger like that. All right. No, I mean I think again, it's the identity crisis, which not so much identity crisis anyway, but it is the tone. And they recognize that he's an older actor, so they're not going to push it to the limit. If he had more of a serious role, let's say the show was kind of like Taken with Liam Neeson, then I'm sure we would all be like, oh wow, yeah, that was deep, that was dark. And they worked the choreography to account for his age.
Mm-hmm.
They could have. But the fact that they didn't shows you that they didn't take the action that serious in the first place, because there were some other scenes with like younger actors and their action scenes weren't that good to begin with. It's not like Citadel level or the Raid 2 level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they know that you're not really supposed to take this super serious. You're supposed to be excited for the lead, but you're also supposed to be excited for like the lead up to season 2, which is not really super exciting. And it's very comedic too. It's pretty funny as well. So that has it going for it. But again, it reminds me a lot of Ghosted. It's like Ghosted, but without like a lot of A-listers in it. Just Arnold. And I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I enjoyed the first episode, and then from there, I just felt like you said, it was a tonal shift, and not even Netflix, but I feel like a lot of other streaming platforms suffer from this as well, like Apple TV Plus or Prime. Like,
Right.
It's like it starts off like really strong, and then from there, it's like I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like laugh, or like is it like a drama sort of show. It's like a weird tonal shift. I can't describe it. But yeah. I mean, like the jokes did hit, and I thought some of the action scenes in the beginning were actually like really cool, and I liked the dynamic between the father and the daughter. I thought that was really interesting that they ended up being both spies in a way. But I feel like that's another thing with spy tropes. It's like now everything's reliant on like a twist or something. Like Ghosted was like, okay, well, the girlfriend was the spy, right, or something. But then it's like really weak, and it's like, okay, well, it doesn't really warrant like a sequel for me. I don't know.
Well, I think what these like creators, they don't realize is when we associate the CIA or any governmental space, we always associate it with it's very serious, it's dark. And so they think like, oh, we're going to like be really loosey-goosey with it and like think like, oh, it's okay. Because every time they do this type of thing, it's like, oh, it's all in the family. For some reason, I could get my pool boy to like come in the CIA and like do something for me. And it's just not like that. Because there's a lot of conspiracy theories going out there and stuff. So everything's really serious. So when you see something like this, it's like, it's weird. So how do you push the boundary of that to actually work in a space? Well, you make it more high tech, right? So that's what we see in Citadel, James Bond. We make it more, with the acting. There's like a lot of suave to these characters. But when you do this has a similar tone with the CIA as for like if you get a vicious pit bull to be in Beethoven 4. And it's like
I'll ask my whore.
Yeah, I'll ask my whore. It's like weird, you know what I mean? Like you're not really feeling it.
Right.
Like, that's how it kind of feels. It's like I'm suspending my disbelief really hard here. I'm trying, but we are seeing it from a different lens too. So that's why a lot of critics they don't actually talk about is that we're actually trying to break it down and see it like as if we're like doing a biopsy on this. But for someone who's just later, like if we didn't have to do this video and we just saw this show, it's whatever. It's like, all right, something to waste time with, and then we'll go on to work or whatever like that. So it is what it is. But you don't want to be that type of show though. You want to be in a culture. I think you should always strive to make sure you leave a lasting impact because it's important and it costs money. It's ridiculous to just waste money. So that's my problem I have with it. I mean, you could not take yourself serious and But, there are like things like Borat or whatever, even if they're like different types of films, but we still remember those. And you could have done the same thing with this. Look at what's that guy? What was it? That movie that was like really funny back in the day. It was like a guy riding a bullet. God, I forgot. It was like an old spy movie or something with a guy like white hair. But anyway, Dylan's never help whenever I forget things. But if you guys know, if you guys can read my mind, let me know in the comments below. Like those old movies back then, it could have been something like that where it's like you always remember this. It's not like this. So
Yeah.
What would you rate Fubar?
I mean, for me, it's pretty forgettable. Like you said, it's like something you just watch just for the pure aspect of entertainment, and it's like not something like I would fucking like break down or like really be like really overly critical about.
Right.
So it's like I take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I did enjoy it. I did like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I do believe it's time for him to retire, to be honest. But
never retired, Arnold. He's a hater. All right, never retire.
Right? Wrong.
No, right. You guys let us know in the comments below. I'm not going to debate this, but
listen, I'm not going to have another dark fate, okay? I'm not going to have another...
That wasn't his fault. That was your fault, Dylan. You're the one who started.
Now I know I heard it. No, but to rate it, I'd probably get 6 out of 10. How about you?
Okay. Oh, and the movie I was thinking about was called Spy Hard. Like that type of movie. There you go. So you guys know, you know. Yeah, I thought for the most part it was pretty Fubar. So I'd give it, I think I'd give it like a 5 or 6 out of 10. It is what it is, but we'll see in season 2 if there is a season 2. But yeah, that is our review.
Let us know, guys. Will there be a season 2? Let's debate right now.
I don't know. Yeah, let's debate right now in the comments. Well, why don't you take us away, Dylan?
Well, guys, I appreciate you sticking around for this video if you stayed till the end. But yeah, check out our other content that we have. We are still also reviewing Citadel and Silo, which will be coming out pretty soon after this. We're wrapping up Succession. There's only one more episode. I'm really sad, but it's the finale. But we will also be doing a season 4 discussion for it also. And yeah, Akram also has something little goodie in store planned for that as well.
I can't wait.
But yeah, check us out wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple Music or whatever it's called.
Stupid.
Spotify, Anchor, and of course YouTube. And yeah, check out our Instagram as well. But thank you guys so much. And until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.